AFTV, we are back again down at the Emirates. Tony, bro. I love to see Tony Adams, man. Trust me, what this guy represents. Solid defending. Remember those days? A long time ago, I'll tell you that. But listen, it's great to be back down here at the Emirates. And of course, we're all looking forward to the opening game. Or should I? It's not the opening game, it's the restarted game against Manchester City on the 17th of June. AFTV, we're going to be covering that to death. Make sure you keep it locked here. We're going to be doing watch-alongs. We're going to be talking to fans before and after the game. But one thing I'm asking all fans now, what's your starting 11? What would be your starting 11 for that game? I'm going to give you mine. You probably disagree, but I'm going to give you mine, and then you tell me what your starting 11 would be. You're probably going to differ to me, or you may differ to me. Leave it in the comments below and let me know. In goal, of course, I don't think there's going to be any dispute on this. Bernd Leno. Leno, for me, has to start in goal. He's been absolutely superb this season. A real shining light amongst, a lot of dimming lights. So Leno in goal. At right back, now I've really had to have a real proper think about this one, because Cedric, who's come in January, he hasn't actually played a game yet, but he's a very, very good player. I mean, I remember watching him, when he's been at Southampton over the years. I think he's been quality. I remember when he played in the Euros for Portugal, he was brilliant. And I was really thinking, what about Cedric? Then I'm looking at Ainsley Maitland-Niles and I'm thinking, is it time to throw him back in? He's looked hungry in training, and, I thought he was playing really, really well up until him getting left out of the team, and there's talk of little shenanigans that were going on in training and that. I don't know if that's true, but every player's going to be hungry right now. But I've got to go with Hector Bellerin at right back. Hector's under a lot of pressure because now that Cedric's come in, Hector's got to perform. And we all know that he's had this terrible injury and he's been coming back for it. And maybe his sort of recovery's been a bit slower than a lot of people would have liked to have seen. He did score that big goal, though, against Chelsea. And he's going to have to be, it's not just, remember, in that game, it's not just about getting forward. It's about how well you defend against a Man City that will be attacking us, from all angles. So Hector's defensive game's going to be on it, have to be on it. But I'm going to favour him only because Cedric has not had playing time yet, and maybe that's a bit too much of a big game to throw him into. But Bellerin's got to play well in that game. He's under pressure. My two centre-backs, I'm going to go for David Luiz. For me, Luiz has to start now. He's sort of the main centre-back for me. His distribution's been good this season. We know he made a lot of mistakes earlier in the season, and he still has that tendency to make mistakes. But for me, you start with David Luiz. Who goes next to him, though? That's the big one. Do you go Socrates? Rob Holding's fit now as well, remember, Who do you go with? Well, actually, I'm not going to go with either of those two. I'm going to go with Pablo Mari. Mari came in. He only played one game. And kind of goes a bit against what I was just saying about Cedric. But I don't know. There's something about him. I like what I saw in that one game. You know what I mean? He obviously was really, really nervous. And it's a bit of a big game to throw him into against Manchester City. He's going to be up against Aguero, Jesus and all these guys, De Bruyne, etc. But put him in. Let's see what he can do. I'd have in Mari. Now, who plays at left back? Do you play Saka there? Kolasinac, more experience of the two? Or what about Tierney? Kieran Tierney is fit again. Do you throw him back in? Big game to throw him back into. And Saka, remember he was playing there as a makeshift left back. And then you've got Kolasinac. But you know what? I would play Saka for that first game there. At first, the other day, I was thinking Tierney. But he's had so little game time this season. And even though, obviously, there's been a break and he's been training, I put Saka in. I want Saka, his pace, that he could still get back and recover against, some really, really, energetic players that are going to be getting up and down for Manchester City. So I would have Saka in there. Right, in front of him in the midfield now. Again, very important position. I'm going to go with Xhaka. I know he divides opinion, but he's an experienced player. He's going to have to really not make any mistakes in that game. But I go with Xhaka and Torreira, right? I really do think you need to have a shield in front of that defence. You can't go too gun-ho. So I would go Xhaka and Torreira. Just in front of them, in the number 10 role, do I go Ozil? Do I go Willock? Or do I even go Ceballos? You know? Now, I've been thinking about this a lot. At first, I was going Ozil. I was saying, put Ozil in there. But then I was thinking, what about Ceballos, though? Ceballos is a guy who's very energetic. He'll get a tackle in and be really hungry in that game. And so will Willock. Willock will be putting a real shift in that game, which you're going to need. But you know what? For that game, I'm going to go with Ceballos. I'm going to put Danny Ceballos in there, put him in the number 10. I know he's played a bit deeper in past games, but I'm just thinking his hard work, his determination, and Ozil away from home hasn't been the greatest. I'll put Danny Ceballos in there. It's a bit different, but I'm putting Ceballos in there. Now, the front three. Obviously, Aubameyang, I'm going to have him on the left-hand side. I'm going to go with Aubameyang. I'm going to put him in there. On the right-hand side, I'm going to have Pepe. Now, through the middle, that, again, now is the big one. I could have went with Martinelli on the left and put Aubameyang down the middle. I could have went with Martinelli down the middle, but I'm going to go with Lacazette. I'm going with the experience in this game. I think this is a real tough game. Remember, there's going to be 5 subs in the game. If players are not performing, you can bring an energetic Martinelli off the bench. You can bring an energetic Nketiah off the bench. You can, there's a lot of changes you can make to re-energize it. But I'm going to go with Lacazette. He's looked good in training. There was that banger he scored. I know it's against Charlton, but it was a banger. Maybe his confidence is coming back. This is a player with a lot to prove between now and the end of the season. And we're going to need some of his hold-up play in that game. So I'm going to go for Lacazette. So that's my team. Let me just run through it again. In goal, Leno. Right back, Bellerin. And then we've got Luiz, Pablo Mari. And then, of course, we have Saka. Then I've gone for Xhaka, Torreira, Ceballos, and then Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Pepe. It's a very strong team in my books. Sure, you guys will disagree with a lot of that. Let me know what you think your team would like, or what you think the team should be. Give us your starting 11. Leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe here to AFTV. And we are all looking forward to when it all comes back on the 17th. Easy game to start off with, not against Manchester City. And then we roll on the Saturday after that against Brighton. Big games coming up. And we're looking forward to it here on AFTV. Football is back.
Back again, yeah!
AFTV will be bringing you comprehensive coverage of every game from now until the end of the season. So get ready for the restart here on the world's #1 fan channel.
Back again, hey!
AFTV, back again.